which teams are totally fucked right now? Like they cannot get under the cap. They're saddled with a quarterback contract that is going to screw them for the next 12 months, if not beyond. Raybon, who is totally screwed?
I mean, first of all, we have to put this into some context. Like the Packers, for example, have the worst cap space in the NFL right now, but like they have Aaron Rodgers. Every team can do what they need to do. NFL contracts are so dumb. Like you could do what you need to do to kind of get under the cap. But with that being said, I worry about the Saints. I mean, the Saints have the second fewest cap space, and there's no quarterback to speak of. Like, what are you going to run it back with Taysom Hill? Like, what's going to happen there? Now you have this legal drama that popped up with Alvin Kamara. I mean, the Saints could be like, they could win that division or they could be really bad. So I would worry about them because they don't have one. Like when you look at some of these other teams that are in cap hell, like the Packers, the Rams, the Bucks don't have a lot of cap space. The Chiefs are in the bottom, near the bottom of the league. Like, these teams are teams that win. I mean, if you just look at the bottom 10 in cap space this year, right now anyway, and this changes all the time, guys, teams are making moves, but Bills, Cowboys, Niners, Chiefs, Giants, Bucks, Vikings, Rams, Saints, Packers. Almost all of those teams are very good. So the teams that you would say are fucked, Giants, they don't belong in that group. Like, for a team not to have cap space and have a roster that bad, not a good sign. Saints, for a team just lost their great coach and have no quarterback, for them to be that deep in the hole and not have a great roster, that's troubling. And then the Vikings kind of, you look at it and say, yeesh, I mean, Kirk Cousins taking up 22% of that cap. And you don't want to move them or anything because it's still having Kirk Cousins still gives you a better chance than not having Kirk Cousins, unfortunately. So like those teams, and then the Bucks. I mean, if they can't find a quarterback, I mean, they still have a lot of pieces, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Blaine Gabbert. So that's not a great situation either. But the Giants and the Saints really kind of stick out there. They're not in that same group. They should not be this far in the hole. Heading into free agency.
Once the Giants sign, we talked about this last night at the Millman dinner table. Once the Giants sign Mitch Trubisky and he proves that Matt Nagy was a fraud of a coach who coached the Chicago Bears into the bottom of the bucket, and Trubisky gets his shot to become a Hall of Famer because he was not utilized correctly, the Giants, one of the most incredible turnarounds in NFL history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to be too worried, Chad. His nickname was One Read Mitch for a reason. Like the kid would make one read. If it wasn't there, he'd pull it down. So maybe he's updated and changed to 1 year with the Bills, but I don't know, man. There was a reason all these teams didn't make him any offer last year, and he was a backup for the Bills,
It could solve two problems for the Giants, though. Like if he really just is good under Brian Daboll, and Daboll just somehow unlocks the best of Mitch Trubisky, not only do the Giants have a quarterback, but then they can move Daniel Jones to running back, and they'll finally have a running back because Saquon Barkley is apparently not who he was, a couple of years ago. He just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So, hey. You never know.
Listen, here we are, just a podcast, just a betting podcast, solving all the problems of the NFL. That's what we do here.
You're not going to ask me who I'm down on, Chad? You're just going to skip over me like I'm a piece of meat?
What do you mean?
You didn't ask me who I'm down on.
All right. Who are you down on?
No, keep it. End your show. It's your
The Bengals. Simon, you're clearly down on the Bengals. You made that very clear.
No, that's just bad value.
Don't you come back from vacation and you're tan and it's like your whole body is sensitive, not just just tell me who you're down on. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I got caught up in the Mitch Trubisky euphoria and I completely forgot to ask the follow-up. Please.
Great show. Great show, by the way. Euphoria. Check it out.
An easy answer, Miami. We talked about it with Stephen Ross. They have so much drama. They're the team that they messed up the tank season. They didn't get Joe Burrow, who's looking like a Hall of Famer 2 years in. They didn't get Herbert because they passed on him for Tua. That's just that's one of those teams, Miami. They could, if they struggle early in the season, they could fall apart quick because you've heard the whispers about them not really committing to Tua, and Brian Flores trying to get Watson in there, and now he's gone. They got the new coach in there who he seems like a cool dude, but he seems like he is stoned 24/7. Every time I hear this dude talk, I'm like, wow, that is the highest coach I've ever heard. So I don't know. Miami's just making me nervous. I love to bet on Miami, but they got drama, and they might have whiffed big time on taking Tua over Herbert.